This is the You Can Man podcast, episode 1. I'm Josh.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Dave.
Hey guys, welcome to our episode 1. On this episode, we want to give you guys an opportunity to get to know us a little bit. And our main topic for today is do-it-yourself pest control. I've been doing that for years now, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown of what I do, how often I do it, and just give you some encouragement that you can totally do that yourself and save a ton of money. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask Dave a few questions, and he'll let us know a little bit about himself. Dave, we're going to kick it off with you. Question 1, where do you work?
I work for a structural engineering company in Atlanta, Georgia. We design buildings, and yeah, I've been doing that for about 10 years.
Nice. Are you married?
I am married. Been married for, gosh, what is it?
You should know this.
I should. Know. I gotta do the math. It'll be 6 years.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, we got to redo that, obviously.
No, we don't. We're rolling with this.
So it's 2018. We got married in 11. So it'll be 7. No, it's 19 now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Man.
Okay.
So that'll be 8 years. That'll
7,
be
8 years.
8 years this year. So yeah, I've been married 8 years.
Maggie, he does love you.
I do,
really
Maggie.
does.
Love you so much. Just had a baby, so we have a 3-year-old and a 3-month-old. So things are pretty hectic right now.
Yeah. All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how DIY do you feel you are?
And that's tough. I don't know. Maybe like a 7.
Okay. Is it more car stuff or more house stuff?
It's more house stuff. It's a little bit of both, but I don't know. Probably more house stuff. My cars tend to run like a top.
Gotcha. All right. That's good for Dave. Just to let you guys know that we've all known each other seriously since high school. So Josh and I have actually known each other since middle school, but we've all known each other since high school. All right. So next, Josh, first question, where do you work? What do you do?
Yeah, so my day job is I work for a cybersecurity company in Atlanta. I'm an analyst there. So I fly.
That sounds really exciting.
Yeah, I fly a cubicle and work in Excel spreadsheets. Yeah, so that's what I do with my days.
Josh is freaking amazing at Excel. Are you married?
I am married. We will be celebrating our 10th year anniversary.
See, you had time to prepare yourself and do the math.
The softball. Yeah, got 2 boys out of this marriage, and they're 3 and 1, almost 4 and 2, and yeah, that's it.
All right. So, what on a scale of 1 to 10? How DIY are you?
If Dave's a 7, I'm above that. So yeah, I'd say
I could see.
I'd say 7.5 to 8. But
yours is more.
That's
Yours
my
is more
opinion.
house stuff.
Definitely more house. I don't have a huge interest in working on cars that much.
I did your brakes actually for you.
Yeah, what I do is
That's 7.5 or 8.5's going down to like a 7 or 6 now. I think.
no, what I do is I buy reliable old Lexuses and never have to do anything.
That thing
to
is
them.
nice.
It's an old man car.
It's like a 2000 what?
03.
03. You get in that thing and you're like, man, this is nice.
And the tint is cherry on it.
Yeah. So no maintenance. Just put new oil in it and get my neighbor to change the brakes.
The neighbor being Tim.
Actually, I did the one before. You did the last one because I remember watching you do the last one. So, sorry,
I can change brakes back.
You watched him like you watched him through the windows and you go help him?
No, I actually did go over there. It was kind of the over the shoulder, just good job. Yeah. No, you're doing that wrong. But
It doesn't sound like you.
Yeah, Josh and I are actually across the street neighbors, and then Dave lives all but I don't know,
like a mile.
3 miles. I'll say like 3 miles away. Anyways, but yeah, we're all good friends. Yeah, I guess that's it for you, Josh. Do you want to ask me the questions? Or?
Yeah, I guess that would be fair. So Tim, what do you do for gainful employment?
Yeah, so I am a photographer. I've been shooting professionally for about 12 years now. I guess going on 13. I've mostly shot weddings for most of my career, but in the past 2.5 years, kind of switched over to more of the corporate commercial work. So, corporate events, headshots, and that sort of thing. Yeah, and then I also started You Can Man. That's not really a job, but I'm the one that started it at the beginning of last year. So I guess that was the beginning of 2018. Yeah, so that's a little bit about what I do.
Cool. Tell us a little bit about your family.
Yes, married. I've been married the longest out of these jokers here. We celebrated our 15th wedding anniversary this past July, and we got married young. I've got 3 great kids, a boy and 2 girls. Yeah.
All right, cool. And your DIY?
It's mostly cars,
Scale
right?
on 1 to 10.
Yeah. I would say
Tim's got a lot of range.
I'm going to say I'm an 8 because there are some things that I still hire out. Things that I feel like I could do, but someone else, like a friend of mine that's in that trade, is going to do a way better job, and he's going to do it 3 times faster. So sometimes I do hire things out, but for the most part, I would say I'm a solid 8.
I have that thought like mid every DIY job that I do that I wish I hired this out.
Oh, yeah,
because of the headaches sometimes. But then when you're done,
so what kind of stuff? What kind of stuff do you not like doing yourself?
Painting. My wife does all the painting pretty much in the house. So if she doesn't want to do it, then we're definitely hiring that out. And a lot of people are like, "Really, you hire painting out?" But totally. So that is something we have hired out before. We had our entire house rewired when we bought it, like 10 years ago. I didn't do that, so that was something major that we hired out.
Big drywall work.
Yeah. Oh, drywall. Yeah. I really, really do not like doing drywall, so I will hire that out for sure. Yeah. So solid 8 on the DIY scale, I would say. I do tons of car work. Now, car work is one thing that I do not hire out. I've taken my car to a mechanic once in probably the past, seriously, 12, 15, I don't know.
That's just
years.
Stubbornness.
I don't know. Even oil changes. I can't bring myself to.
Yeah, you've given me a hard time about doing my own oil.
You got to do your own oil. You just got to. So I have an old Bronco that me and a good buddy we completely restored back in like 2007. Did like a frame off restoration of that, and so that was probably the largest, the most in depth car-wise DIY thing I've done. But anyway, so that's me. So yeah, as we go along with this podcast, we'll try to, fill you guys in a little bit more about ourselves, but that hopefully gives you a little bit of a base knowledge about who we are, what we do, our families, and that sort of thing. So let's go ahead and jump into the topic for today. Do-it-yourself pest control. So I've been doing pest control on my house. I think I fired my guy probably a good solid 7 years ago and have been doing it myself ever since. I did keep termite protection for a couple years after I fired the pest control guy, but now I even do that myself as well, the termite protection. So
why do you feel like you want to do that yourself?
Okay, so once I found out that I could get my hands on the same chemicals, pesticides that the pro guys use, and I could buy this stuff on Amazon, it's like, why am I not doing this? So really, you need a pump sprayer, you buy this stuff on Amazon, and I could totally do it myself. I'd watch the pest control guy, come to my house and, walk around my house for 20 minutes and spraying some stuff. I'm like, I could totally do that. Also should say I had one of my brothers was in the industry for a while, and so he's the one that told me initially this is kind of what you need to get and that sort of thing.
And this is totally legal for the average person to get?
Absolutely legal. So I've been told that it is completely legal to spray your own property.
At least in our state.
Yeah. So you always want to check your local laws and regulations. But like I said, you can buy this stuff on Amazon, so it can't be crazy. I don't know. There are some regulations that I've heard from a friend of mine that's in the pest control industry about one particular chemical that I use, and he said, yeah, we can only spray this, a certain number of times at a certain property throughout a given year. So I don't even know the numbers on that. But anyways,
Not a highly controlled substance.
Yeah, you can spray this stuff at your house. So I'm not going to go quite in depth as far as the exact chemicals that I use, because I have a write-up on my website. Just go to youcanman.com/pest. I'll go ahead and do a easy link to it, so you can find it easy enough. If that doesn't work for some reason, just scroll down. It's a couple posts down right now. Or you could just search for pest control on the website. Anyways, I go into all of the chemicals that you need to have, and like how often, and application method, and that sort of thing. But this is, I would say, of all the things that are easy DIY projects that you can do at your house, and the biggest bang for your buck is definitely do-it-yourself pest control. And I know Dave, I think, ran some numbers on when he switched over.
I did. I'm an engineer, so I have to run the numbers, obviously. I don't remember what I was paying, a big national brand, but I feel like it was around $50 a treatment, something like that, maybe a little bit more. But the numbers that I came up with, it's like $6 a treatment for if you're doing it yourself, and it's. I don't know if Tim
just the outside.
It's the outside and the inside.
Okay.
I didn't treat for termites. I'm just kind of rolling the dice on that one. But anyway, yeah, about $6. It's really cheap. It's very, very easy to do. Super easy.
Well, if you're using the same outside chemical that I use, which the brand name is Taurus SC. Again, this is on my blog post. But if you're using that is basically generic Termidor, which is what the pro companies use for termite protection. So you actually are, in fact, if you're using that on the outside, that's what they use for termites. So,
well, it's worked better than when I had a professional, guy come in. So it's been great. Save money, save time. I don't have to,
And what do you
leave
think
work.
What do you think you were paying the pest control guy?
I think, like I said, it was like $50 a treatment, something like that. So, I mean, you're saving. It's not huge
quarterly.
money. Yeah, it's quarterly. I mean, you're not going to get rich off the savings, but you are saving some money, and it's really easy to do.
Right. And Josh, since he lives across the street, I actually do his for him. It's funny, like I do your brakes.
Not for money.
Josh doesn't need to be on this DIY podcast.
But it doesn't make sense for Josh to buy all this stuff when we're right across the street from each other. So whenever I go to mix up a big, I've got like this backpack sprayer. So I'll mix up, like three gallons of this stuff. And then when I'm doing my house, I'll just walk over to Josh's and do his. But one thing I was going to mention too, a lot of people do get freaked out about spraying chemicals inside their house. I've actually got to the point now where I've done a pretty decent job of spraying the outside of my house, that I don't really have to spray inside. So I think the last time I probably sprayed inside my house was probably a good solid year ago. And I'll do the outside quarterly. And ever since I've done that, I don't have bugs in the house. And so if you're worried about chemicals inside the house, you can totally just spray outside. And once you kind of get that routine going, you shouldn't have a problem inside if you do a good job on the outside.
Yeah, and I'll speak to that. Tim, like he said, will spray my house, and we do not have bugs in the house. The only bugs we have found have been dead on the inside. We do get stink bugs. I don't know if that's their official name.
Those things are supposed to be like nuke proof.
Yeah,
I think.
I've heard an entomologist actually say they're more resilient than cockroaches. That's the example he uses for a nuclear blast. The insect that will survive will be a stink bug. So yeah, they're super resilient, and those are seasonal or whatever. But other than that, no spiders. Any insect we've seen has been
had
dead on the
spiders.
inside.
I know you've had spiders on your front entry area outside, right? But last time I sprayed, I blasted that area. Have you noticed any?
Haven't noticed. It's been cold, but
I sprayed a lot.
Yeah.
Well, to your point, Josh, that's kind of the reason that I got rid of my exterminator was, they were coming out. I was paying $50 a treatment, and it wasn't doing anything. I mean, it got a little bit better when they would come out, but still had a lot of bugs. So I started spraying. I don't know if I was just spraying more liberally or not, but After I did it, 0 bugs. They were gone.
Well, like
it worked better.
Like with most things, you're going to be a little more diligent on your own property.
And it's an old house, so we had issues before, but do it yourself takes care of it.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, just to wrap that up, do-it-yourself pest control, totally something you can do yourself. It is not difficult at all. I've got a great post on youcanman.com/pest. Should be able to go there and find it right away. And I'll tell you all the exact chemicals to buy and the sprayers to buy. Super easy. It is going to be, an initial upfront investment, but this stuff, like you can buy a huge, like almost 1 gallon size of some of this stuff, and it will literally last you 5 years. I mean, I think that I've had one. Of course, I do spray I guess I spray Josh's house and stuff too, so maybe I go through it a little bit quicker. But it will definitely, like on an average size house, this is going to last you years when you buy this. So another thing we like to do on the podcast is we're going to talk about either a project that one of us is working on, or maybe it's just a funny story that happened during the week or something. But Dave said he had some sort of story about car related that he wanted to share with us.
Right. So I was driving home from work today, and I don't know what kind of car it was. I pride myself on knowing essentially every car on the road, but this was an old car. I didn't know what it was. It looked like it might have been an Impala or something, but anyway, not the point of the story. I'm sitting at this light, and there's this cool car in front of me, and I noticed the license plate, right? I didn't recognize...
Like a vanity license plate?
It wasn't a vanity license plate. I thought he was from out of town. I was like, man, this guy drove that old car, like, across state lines. That's bold, because I've done that. It doesn't go well. But anyway, I look at the tag. It's a Georgia plate, so we live in Georgia. It's a Georgia plate. But it looks like it was almost a period correct license plate, which I didn't recognize. So when I was a kid, my dad had an old car, 1972 442 Cutlass. And when it was 25 years old, he got the antique license plate, right? So it has like the antique car on it. But when I saw this license plate, I was like, it looks like a period, like an old license plate.
Yeah, you can do that.
It was super cool. Like I'd never seen that before. I didn't know if that was a thing now. It's way better than like the antique license plate of yesterday that had like the Model A.
I've seen that before. Because I think
as long as you have a current registration sticker,
I guess. I think at least in the state of Georgia, because that's where I've seen it.
Well, it's the way to go, because anybody who lives in Georgia knows what our license plate looks like right now. It looks terrible. Josh described it in the past as like a middle school art project. It has these pumpkins, like the sunset. It looks terrible.
Pumpkins. It looks like pumpkins.
They do. They're peaches. They're obviously peaches because it's the peach state. But it looks terrible, and it looks even worse on an old car.
I don't know if we mentioned that,
But yeah, period correct license plate is the way to go on an old car. It looks smooth.
That sounds like something that pretty much only we could get away with in Georgia. I feel like there's a lot of other states out there that would be like, you got to buy the new.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have noticed. There is a license plate for everything.
There is, yeah, absolutely.
You know what kind of ticks me off though is the license plates for
University of Alabama.
Out of state.
Yeah, no, that's not okay.
I'm like, no,
don't be doing that.
I mean, I get it. You went to Alabama and you live in Georgia.
Maybe one state.
Are you a real fan? You don't live in Alabama anymore? I mean, come on. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I've always thought that was weird. But
well, anyway, the period correct license plate, I don't know if it's a thing or not. He was shaking his head like it is a thing, and maybe I'm just missing out on that. But
you don't see it.
It looks cool. It looks cool. Like, it's just weird to have an old car with a brand new middle school art project license plate on it. It doesn't fit.
Yeah, our license plates are really ridiculous for sure.
But yeah, that was it. It was cool. I liked it.
Okay, so that's going to wrap up episode 1. We want to thank you guys for listening. Tim gave us the rundown on DIY pest control, and this is our first episode. This is going to be a constantly evolving project. The three of us have years of DIY experience that we'd love to share with you guys, and also just, talk about what's going on in our lives in general. So please subscribe to the podcast. Tell your friends. Follow us on Instagram. You can like us on Facebook, and you can subscribe on YouTube. And that's going to be it. We'll see you next time.